Breaking news as the Calgary Flames have made yet another trade, this time sending Andrew Mangiapane to the Washington Capitals in what is quickly becoming the summer of Craig. And as heart-wrenching as it is to see the bread man go, this truly is what is best for the future of the organization. We are going to get into all of that and more, but first, I want to welcome you to Flames Digest. I am Mark Griffith. If you're new around here and you love the Flames, make sure you subscribe so you can stay up to date on all the latest news, updates, reports, and rumors revolving around your Calgary Flames. We would love to welcome you to the Flames Digest family, but without further ado, let's talk about how we have to say goodbye to Ohndrew. Yes, if you're new around here, it is a meme on the channel because back in the day, I really couldn't manage to say Andrew for some reason and always said Ohndrew, and it is farewell to Andrew Mangiapane. It's going to be sad not saying that name as much on the channel anymore, but don't worry, he will always be Ohndrew in our hearts here on the channel. And Andrew Mangiapane, his actual pronunciation of his name, he will always be in the hearts of Calgary Flames fans. It is tough to see him go, but let's hop into this trade here. So as stated before, he has been shipped out to the Washington Capitals for a second round draft pick next season. And I have to be honest, I love this return for Calgary. You know, Mangiapane hasn't had a good couple of seasons here offensively anyway. Pretty good defensive metrics over the past year and before that as well. But his value isn't exactly the highest it's ever been. I mean, you look at after 2022 and the Flames signed him to a 5.8 mil per season contract, which was way too much. That being said, with that contract, the fact that there's no salary retention involved in this trade, fantastic. The Flames aren't retaining a cent on this, and they get just a second round pick for free. And what I like about this too is that, look, the Capitals, they snuck into the playoffs this season. I don't even see them being all that much better next year because there should be teams that compete harder in the East next season. This season, it seemed like all the teams didn't want to make it. You look at the Pittsburgh Penguins, the Philadelphia Flyers, the New York Islanders. Those teams might all be better next season. And you look at the teams from the Atlantic as well that could be competing. You know, Detroit ready to make that next step. Buffalo, even maybe Ottawa with Ullmark now. Washington could be even worse next season, making it a better pick next year than it would have been this year. I know that's a hypothetical, but still, I am excited about it, and I'm thrilled that the Flames, that Craig Conroy just has made yet another trade. I'm glad that he didn't keep Mangiapane going into next season and gambling on him trying to increase his value. I'm happy with this trade, so happy with it. And it's funny too, because about over 3 weeks ago, I made a video on the channel that said, 3 trade suitors revealed for Mangiapane. And in that video, I said, the one that makes the most sense to me, the Washington Capitals. And lo and behold, it has happened. I'm not saying I'm the one that made this happen. I'm just saying this makes total sense, and I'm so glad it has happened. But one thing we do really need to say, of course, is a big ol' thank you to Andrew Mangiapane for his service for the Calgary Flames. A nice homegrown player. We drafted him back in the day and actually developed him, and he became something. He had a great 35-goal season back a couple years ago. I know a lot of us will never forget that bar-down snipe he had against Dallas in Game 5, I think it was, a couple years ago, and my goodness, just some great times. What a great guy in the community as well, always getting involved with the fan base and the city of Calgary itself. Just an amazing guy. We are going to wish him nothing but the best of luck over in Washington. And just thank you so much, Andrew. You were an absolute stud here. But seeing him go, it might be just what is best for this franchise. Just really showing that we're going into a rebuild. And I can sit here and talk about it all I want, but I wanted to get some sea of red thoughts, some thoughts from some of you guys from what I have seen early on in this little, I guess since the news has dropped. I was just checking out some comments on Instagram, and there are a lot to talk about. So here's one. L trade, WTF are we doing? And people did not agree with this guy here because let's face it, this is a really good trade for the Flames. As much as it sucks to see the bread man go, it really is a good trade. Great value back. And some people, they weren't agreeing. So the first reply there, you see the guy said, bro, what? We fleeced them with a laughing face. The next guy said, doing what we should have done 2 years ago and finally blowing the core up. I mean, we did kind of blow the core up a couple years ago, but this is really getting rid of almost pretty much everyone from a couple seasons ago. We've got Markstrom and Monge go in pretty much the space of a week. It is crazy. And the last one there, this trade is incredible. What are you talking about? It really is a good trade for the Flames. Getting a second rounder out of this, I couldn't be happier. A lot of people were saying that after the IIHF World Championships, Monge, since he was one of the top scorers for Team Canada and found some chemistry, it seemed as though his value was increasing, and that's great. It definitely was the time to let Monge go. I know he is deep down in the hearts of so many Flames fans, but it just really, really was time for Monge to move on. If we get another couple comments here. So one guy said, it's called rebuilding. Yes, it is fully giving in to the rebuild, getting rid of a big contract, making space for someone who we actually will build around. Monge, he's 28. He was getting up there in the age, and he wasn't a player that was in the plans for the future of the franchise. So to be able to open up a roster spot for someone younger is absolutely great, and getting rid of that contract really is rebuilding. Another thing there too, in salary retention, already a W. Like, what exactly do you think Monge is worth? That's perfect right there. That is a great rhetorical question almost, I guess you can ask there, but it is true. A second round pick to come back, no salary retention, getting rid of his entire contract and opening up a roster spot for a younger guy is absolutely perfect. And now this could be a younger guy that is already within our organization, whether he's down with the Wranglers or maybe we're talking about a different winger, maybe a Coronado, a Pelche or someone. But could this mean that the Flames are willing to draft a winger now with the 9th overall pick? All of the talk has been about a center. I still think the Flames should draft a center with the 9th overall pick. The video earlier today was literally talking about 3 guys who potentially could be centers. One of them not really, and you all know who I'm talking about. But either way, this really does open up a spot for the roster. If I bring up our lines from the last game of the season last year, already they've updated Mangiapane as a member of the Capitals, but it shows there's a left wing spot open, and we could see another winger get drafted. Now, once again, I will say that is not the best course of action for the Flames right now, but there leaves the possibility. I know we have some wingers in the organization already, but we could draft one. And I'll just stop beating around the bush. Y'all know who I'm talking about. Tej Ginla, of course. Does this mean that the Flames are making room to draft Tej if he is available with the 9th overall pick? It almost seems like they're more willing to draft a winger at this point. I know that's pure speculation. I hope that they still go for a center. But that being said, Tej, he could end up being a center, so why not go after him either way? Of course, that's thinking with my heart, not my head, but I just thought it was interesting to see Mangiapane go the night before the draft. Could we see trying to find a replacement for him? I don't know. We will just have to wait and see, of course. But let's wrap up this video quickly with the comment of the day, and this one has to go with someone's personal mock draft, since we were talking about the draft earlier today in the video from before. And I like this comment here from Henry. He said, Macklin Celebrini drops to 9 on my mock list. Yes, that is such a realistic possibility for tomorrow. I think Celebrini will drop to 9th overall, and we will take him, the cornerstone stud, the first of the next generation of Flames that is coming. That was a very funny comment. Thank you so much for providing us with that one there. Thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe if you like what you saw here today, and have a wonderful rest of your day.